Phase 1 of IROC's Axial SCX10 2000 Jeep Cherokee 1/5 scale electric four-wheel drive kit build series. Here's the instruction manual. Like always, before operating or assembling your Axial SCX10 2000 Jeep Cherokee four-wheel drive kit, always read the instruction manual. So here's a pretty much telling you type of electronics you need, tools, motor, battery, blah blah blah, and blah blah blah. Skip all that. Here's a parts list, but we don't care about the parts list. All we care is about assembling the SCX10 So here's page 1. So basically we'll need open bag A and open plastic bag 1. In this part or phase, we'll be assembling, or I'll be assembling the axle front and rear. So let's get to it. But first, we need plastic bag 1 and bag A. So I'll get those parts out of the bag and get ready to assemble the axles, front and rear. Alright! Plastic bag 1 and bag A. So let's get the parts out of the bag and go ahead with this axle assembly. Just a quick reference. Pretty cool when you do a build kit. If no one has ever done a build kit, I know most of you have done build kits, and this might be boring, but it's okay. The cool and neat thing about sometimes doing a build kit is that they actually have the pictures drawn out, and it's pretty much the exact same size and length of the screw or ball bearings. And at this point, here you have is a locker, a bevel gear or differential gear, your pinion gear or bevel gear, differential gear, I could be wrong, and then your screw, ball bearings, and make sure you have the right size hardware. So pretty neat and cool. That way you can't mess up your build. But enough with the boring part. Let's get to assembling the axle. Looks like first off is the differential gear. Oh yeah, one more thing before I proceed. I have is my trusty blue thread lock. I know sometimes when I do my build series or build videos, people don't see that I put thread lock on my screws. Yes, I do. I just thread lock my screws before I put it on video. It's kind of like, for me, it's boring to watch someone put thread lock on the screws, and thread lock is kind of common sense, but it's something that you don't always need. You should use it if you're unsure, if you don't want to lose any screws. Okay, so let's get to it. it's time to assemble steering knuckles. Looks like we need steering knuckles. We have these ball bearings, 10 by 15 by 4. For these bearings, 5 by 11 by 4. Oops, that's one too many. And 13 by 15 millimeter screw. 2 of them. And don't forget the universal axles. So let's get to the build. So the next step in assembling the axle is assembling the steering knuckles and C knuckles. Keep in mind the 4-link mounts right on top of the axle. Here's your C knuckles. I think that's what it's called. I could be wrong. They're numbered. This is number 2. The way you can tell it has a pan hard link or mount right on here. So this will be going on the axle this way. This facing up, and with the screw mount facing on the bottom. And on the opposite side, this is number 1. So screw mount on the bottom, facing like so. But before we assemble the C knuckles, we need the 2 ball bearings. Keep in mind you want this vertical, straight, not at an angle. Next is the steering knuckles. These are also numbered. This is numbered 1, so this will go on this side, and this is number 2. It's marked right here. I don't know if the camera's gonna catch that. It'd be too dark. So number 2, and then once again number 1 on top there. You want it to face the steering legs to face to be in front of the axle. But before I assemble that, we need is a universal shaft, 2 of them, ball bearings, our screws, Before we go ahead and screw steering knuckles on, I want to make sure that the universal shaft is straight. Believe me folks, I have done many axle assemblies, not just Axial, but a lot of different ones, you name it, and sometimes it goes up in an angle and you're wondering what you did wrong. This part will be assembling the rear axles. Keep in mind these are numbered to tell you which side where it belongs to, left or right. So we have 1 and 2, so 1 and 2. And according to instruction manual, number 1 goes on this side of the axle, and then number 2 goes on this side. For this assembly, we'll be needing the axle shaft, rear axle shaft, 2 ball bearings, 2 button head screws, So assembly of the front axle, link mounts completed. So keep in mind this part goes on the bottom. When assembling the front axle, now onto the rear. Before I proceed and move forward with this build and go on to the next phase or next step, I just wanted to apologize and to you folks, and I wanted to make some adjustments and corrections. I know I called this is the front axle right here. I know I called this part the C knuckle, which is wrong. Actually, after getting off camera and thinking about it, it's actually the C hub. So inner part here is the C hub, and the outer part is the steering knuckles for your front axle. So hopefully you guys don't chastise me or crucify me. I'm only human and I make mistakes. So I just would like to apologize once again and make my corrections and give you folks the correct information. And I'm pretty sure throughout this build process I'll be making more mistakes. Hopefully I'll correct those mistakes as I go along. Until then, hope you folks are enjoying this build, and let's move forward and go on to the steering links. Well, looks like I'll be assembling the steering links, and then the panhard link, and then the upper and lower rear links, and the upper and lower front links. But the front just has 3 links because of the panhard to reduce bump steer and stiffen up the chassis. But before I go ahead and assemble all the links, I need is bag B right here. And bag B, we have our links, and then we have our screw pins and screws. So let's get to it. So for the front steering links and the panhard link or panhard bar, I'll be needing 2 of these links, 56.5 millimeters. Okay, and then 107 millimeter link, and then 6 M4 by 20 millimeter screw pins or pin screws. And 1 M3 by 20 millimeter screw, and 2 M3 by 15 millimeter screws. So let's go on and do the build process. Oh, and one more thing, I'll also be needing rod ends It's like plastic rod ends. You can find this in parts tree AX31186. You get 3 sets of these. You get that pretty cool bullhorn. So let's get to. Well, before I assemble the panhard and the steering links, I just wanted to point out the links are like darker gunmetal color, more greenish, pretty cool, pretty awesome. I gotta say, but yeah. So just wanted to point that out. Okay, finally on with the build. For the front links, we'll be needing 80mm links right here. So like I said, same length as the picture. And then we'll be needing screw pins, 4 of them. And 4 straight rod ends. Oops, that's not a straight rod end. Or flat rod ends, whatever you want to call it. And then the ball links, 4 of them. And last but not least, yes, I didn't forget the other link. So this is probably the 2 lower links in the front. We also have upper links for the front, 71mm. So we'll be needing an angle rod end. Focus. Looks like a 45-degree rod end. You don't want to forget our screw pins. And our ball links. So let's get to assembling these links. To assemble front links onto the front axle, I'll be needing a M3 by 25 millimeter screw, one, and two M3 by 15 millimeter screw. And I also need is a front axle, my two lower links, and my upper link. The next step is to assemble the rear links. So in step 12 in the instruction manual, I'll be needing the 101.5 millimeter links, which is this one right here. So two of them. Hopefully they don't roll away. Four rod ends, four pin screws, and four ball links. Let's go ahead and assemble these links. The next step is assembling the 93 millimeter link onto the tie rods, so rod ends with the ball links, rod ends. So we have here is a 93 millimeter. And we have is another 93 millimeter. I guess not. One link is shorter than the other. One link is shorter than the other. So unfortunately, I won't be able to assemble the last two links for the suspension or for the axles. I will search it high and low, every nook and cranny for the matching 93 millimeter link for this. Unfortunately, I wasn't able to find it anywhere in the kit, any plastic bags. I'm not too sure if this is like I'm not too sure what happened here. I'm pretty sure they gave me the wrong link. Yeah, as you can see, if you compare the two, one is shorter than the other. But not only one is shorter than the other, this one has a weird end. kind of strange. So yeah, looks like, I guess during the process it got deformed. So unfortunately, little obstacle here, tough buying, but like everything in life, it's just an obstacle. It can be overcome. I just contacted Tower Hobbies regarding this link, the wrong size. That is where I purchased this Axial SCX10 build kit. One thing about Tower Hobbies, they do provide customer service. They're gonna send me a replacement, another 93mm link to match this link. That is the good news. The bad news is that we probably won't get it till the end of June, which is like a few weeks away. So this build might be delayed. It's unfortunate. This is the first time this has ever happened to me. Follow my channel and watch my videos. I do have a lot of kits. I do a lot of builds, and well, I can't say this is the first time. But I'm gonna not name any manufacturers. Something like this should never happen, but it does. Unfortunately, it happened to me. I'm not mad, not complaining. It is what it is. I can't change things. I just have to wait till end of June to get the right link. Hopefully, this is not a worldwide plague or epidemic. Hopefully, this is just my kit that had the mistake, not everyone else's. But I would recommend, if you do get this build kit, go check your links and see if you got the right sizes. Have no fear. Hi Rocks here. Lucky for me, I do a lot of build kits, like I said earlier, and guess what? I got me a perfect size 93mm titanium link. This is one of my Vanquish products titanium link set. I have bought a lot of these. I have extras. From the end of this link to the end of this link, before you hit the thread, it's 93mm. I already went ahead and measured, putting on these rod ends, and it's actually, yeah, it is actually a perfect fit. Not only a perfect fit, but it measures out to the same. So I'm not gonna show you like installing these. Kind of irrelevant right now. The build must go on. I guess have to make do with what I have now. Make the best of it, and move forward from it. And hopefully, when the end of June come, when I get that right link, then I'll go exchange these links for the right links, and hopefully my Jeep Cherokee comes out looking pretty solid or pretty good. But for now, let's go install these links. Okay, as you can see, hopefully you can see, the camera takes a very good picture of it or video of it, but we have success, and we have the right measurement for these rear links, so pretty cool. So on to the next one. So as you can see, I got the right measurement, the right length for these links. So now I can use these links for this build. Like I said, unfortunately, I got one link that's shorter than the other, but that's okay. Like I said, I'm not mad at anybody. No complaints here. You know, there's one quote that I have saying that I always tell myself, think of the solution and not the problem. So in this case, yes, don't think of the problem, think of the solution. I found a solution for now, a temporary solution. I know it's different color than this, but it's okay. This is going to be underneath the carrier, underneath the chassis or the frame. Who knows? But at least this way, I can go ahead and finish with the build, and hopefully I can get there out on the trail and get some cool crawling vid or trailing vid. Now it's time to assemble these links onto the axle. I'll be needing part number AXA120 or screw M3 screw 25 millimeter one, and then AXA117 M3 screw 15 millimeter two times. Looks like that's about it. So let's go get the axle and put these bad boys on. I know someone's gonna comment and point out that I didn't grease the first axle. You know, I don't really like putting grease while doing build series because it can get very messy and very ugly. That's why when I finish the build off camera, take it apart like so. And get in there and grease it up. So that should be good. I know some people like to pack it in. Don't really recommend packing grease in here. Basically, all you need to do is just get the gears wet. What the grease does is it reduces velocity breakdown and friction, and hopefully prevents corrosion. That's why it's always highly recommended after a run, especially if you run into mud or water, relube your bearings and gears. So hopefully this makes people happy out there that yes, I do grease my gears. Wait, that's too much power.